So, it was just a normal day, and I, for the first time in my life, decided to participate in a chess tournament. See, when I went in the tournament though, I was expecting one thing. For my opponents to be roughly the same rating as I was. 1400, 1500, somewhere there. Oh, but I was wrong. I was very, very wrong. Because for some reason the chess system decided to pair me with someone who was rated 700 points higher than I was. Yay. Just yay. So anyways, the game started with e4, the king's pawn opening, and I played the Karo Khan. We have the exchange variation, and they played c4, intending to develop their bishop if I were to take that pawn. I did not want their bishop to be active, so I played knight to f6, defending the pawn and also developing the knight. And then they did a knight development move. I pushed the pawn because you can never be too safe. You know, you might want to add an extra defense to that pawn, even though it really didn't need it. And then they developed their knight, I developed my knight. And then they put their bishop to e2, preparing short castle. And I played knight to e4, intending for them to take so that when I take back, I attack the knight and also have a more open queen. They did not take, so I took. And then I took, and then they took. And now that the bishop is here, I wanted to play a6, b5. So that's what I did. I played a6, they castled, and I played b5, kicking the bishop out. Like, you are not welcome here. Kicking it out. They moved to d3, forming a battery. And I played bishop to d6, also preparing the castle. And then they played the top engine move, a4. The reason this is the top engine move is because I cannot take. If I take, their rook becomes active. If I don't take, they take. I cannot even take back because that is just a full blunder of a rook. So in this position, it was my turn to play the top engine move, b4. Now b4 is top engine move because now this pawn is here, the rook is not active, and you cannot take back because I have a bishop and a knight both aiming at it. So they played rook b1. Rook b1, okay. And then I castle. And the eval bar just like skyrocketed for white because, you see, I had, like, it took me 16 seconds. 16 seconds to play this, and literally the second after I played it, I was like, oh. Oh no. See, I was very lucky here that the bishop and queen were not, like, you know, the other way around, because that would be mate. So seriously, in this position, short castle is probably like the worst move to make in this position, except maybe the bow test gambit. I feel like, yeah, no, that's worse. But short castle is still a really bad move because it blunders a pawn with check. So I moved, and then they dropped back to e4, attacking the knight. I played bishop to b7, defending the knight, and they played knight to g5. And in this position, I played top engine move g6. The reason this is a very good move is because it cuts off the bishop and queen from seeing my seeing that square. So in this position, my opponent sacked their bishop so that when I take and they take back the queen, that is a mate threat right there. So I had to protect it. So I played queen to d7. Now queen to c7 could work as well because if they take that pawn, I can take that and win my own pawn. But that seems a little too fancy, so I simply just played queen to d7. You know, just keep the defense of this pawn and also protect from mate. And here they played knight to e4, and I played knight to e7, attacking the queen, forcing it to move. They gave a check, I move, they gave a check, I move, and they played d5. Now here's the thing, d5 is actually the top engine move, and the line here wants me to follow this up by taking this pawn. After all, like, two different things can take that pawn. This pawn cannot, because if this pawn takes it, I pull a bow test. So I can either take with the knight or take with the bishop. Taking with the knight is the top engine move, but it doesn't matter because I missed it anyways and played the knight to f5. The reason is because now the queen is cut off from this pawn, so if you take and I take, it's simply just a trade of pawns. And in this position, they played knight takes d6, I played queen takes d6, and then they played rook takes b4. So here, I played bishop to c8, planning a discovered attack. And they played rook to e1, taking the open file. And then I played knight to e7, once again doing the discovered attack. And in this position, my opponent found a very good move, queen takes for check, forcing me to move, and now it is game over. Why is it game over? Because now the queen and the rook both see the knight. Now the thing is, I am down 1 point of material. But how? We both have 2 rooks, we both have a bishop, and we both have a queen. But I have an extra knight. But the reason I am down 1 point of material is because of the fact that they have 5 pawns, when I only have 1. So in this position, a winning move for white is to take the knight with e7. And when I take, they take back with the rook. And now I'm down 4 points of material because I lost the knight that I had, that I was up with. And now it's only 1 pawn and the same amount of pieces to fend off against 5. So that's a completely losing position for me. However, my opponent did not like the idea of trading queens. Instead, they played rook takes e7, threatening mate. Unfortunately, what they had failed to realize was the fact that the rook was actually protecting the first rank. So when they moved the rook to take e7, it actually blunders mate in 2. And my opponent resigned. And that was how I managed to defeat a 2000 rated player because of a blunder. Yeah. And so my opponent lost like 31 points from this and I gained 16. I don't really know why they paired me with 2000 opponent, because the thing is, this entire round, like from like the beginning, the mid game, everything, white had an advantage the entire round. White had an advantage. And the moment they made one blunder, it went straight to mate. And they resigned because the only legal move, rook e1, takes mate. Yeah.